Hi, welcome to an episode of 18-Wheeler Cooking. I'm Mama Cat, and tonight we are going to be making Tuscan chicken in a creamy sauce with a tortellini and salad for the sides. Okay, well let's get started. First we're going to start with our chicken, which I've already thawed out, and we're going to be cooking this in an electric skillet with 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which I have already preheated into my pan. These are not going to require any seasonings because of the sauce is going to give them plenty of flavor. I'm going to set these at about 350 degrees and let those cook for about 5 minutes on each side. Hi, welcome back. Alright, our chicken has been cooking for about 5 to 7 minutes now, and we're going to reduce the temperature on the skillet to just a low heat, about 250 degrees. We're going to remove our chicken and set it to the side. Now I use chicken breast tenders just because they're quicker and easier to cook than whole pieces of chicken breast. But if you prefer whole boneless, skinless breast, you can certainly use that instead. Now I always make my dishes for 2 people, but if you're cooking for yourself, you could either make the same quantity as I do and have seconds, or you could cut this recipe in half. Now we're going to go ahead and use this exact same pan to make our sauce. We're going to start out with half a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese, half a cup of chicken broth. You don't want to use bouillon because bouillon is like mostly salt and you'll wind up with a salt bomb. So make sure you get the actual chicken broth. My assistant thinks I can't open a can over here, so you'll have to forgive the noise, background noise you just heard. be using half a pint of heavy cream. You want to make sure you get heavy cream, otherwise this dish isn't going to thicken up well enough for you. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. This is the first time I've used this particular jar of seasoning, so you'll have to forgive me while I open it. We're also going to add 1 teaspoon of garlic paste. This is basically just a real finely minced garlic. If you like a stronger garlic flavor, you could add a little more. If you don't like a lot of garlic flavor, you could go with a little less. I got this in the produce department of Walmart. Okay, now we're going to raise our heat back up until this starts to bubble a little bit. We're just going to stir our ingredients together, get those going. I'm doing this on high heat. We're just going to let that sit for a minute and start to simmer. While that's starting to come up to a simmer, I just wanted to mention you can really use all different kinds of appliances depending on what kind of setup you have in your truck, whether or not you have a hardwired inverter or not. In my case I do, so I can pretty much use any household appliance as long as I make sure the wattage doesn't exceed my inverter. If you do not have an inverter, however, you can still make recipes like this. You just have to modify the cooking method a little. You can even make a recipe like this in a lunchbox. I know a lot of you out there that don't have the hardwired inverters have the little lunchbox cookers. If you were to make this in that, you would cook your chicken first, set it aside just like I did. Then you would take all these ingredients and put them in one of those aluminum foil pans, bring it up to a simmer just like I am here. You'd follow the exact same steps. It might take a little longer, but you could still accomplish the feat. Now you can see it's starting to boil a little bit here, starting to simmer. I just want to move it around a little bit, just enough to keep it from burning, but not enough to cool it as it cooks, because we want it to thicken up. I can already smell the garlic and parmesan. It's already smelling good. Alright, now that this is starting to thicken up a little, we're going to go ahead and add our sun-dried tomatoes and our spinach. Now for this, we're going to use about half of the bottle because our recipe calls for 4 ounces. Good. Alright, now that we've got that stirred in, lastly, we're going to go ahead and add our spinach. We just want to put a couple handfuls in and let them wilt. Alright, now you can see how that spinach is nicely wilted into the sauce. We're going to return our chicken to that sauce. Now we're just going to stir that around a little bit so that we get the chicken nicely coated with the sauce. Turn our heat off. Okay, now we're going to just put a lid on this and let it sit for a few minutes while we warm up our tortellini and let the sauce thicken a little. And we'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. We have, as you see, already plated our salad and our tortellini. This was a fresh tortellini found in the deli area in the fresh cold case. It was tossed with a little pasta sauce. And now we're going to plate our creamy Tuscan chicken and we'll be ready to eat. It has been sitting, soaking up all those wonderful flavors while I reheated some of this tortellini that my son made day before yesterday. Now if you can see this, it turned out looking absolutely beautiful. Our sauce is thickened up nicely. That turned out wonderful. What do you think, guys? Enjoy!